Good afternoon. My name is David Knox. I have multiple system atrophy, and just because somebody else struggles does not mean you have to struggle too. I want to go over the very lovely 5K that we went to with a family, attended for Mission MSA. I started my watch one lap late for some reason. I guess I did not hit the start button, so you'll see 11 complete laps is at 12, but I did complete all 12. So with MSA, this is how it went. I want to talk about the statistics and then my feelings about it very quickly. First of all, average walking speed of 3.2 miles per hour. I normally run between 6.8 and 7.5. It used to before MSA, so it just depends. Maximum heart rate was very interesting. The maximum that I received was 176 beats per minute. Now, how do you know how fast your heartbeat is supposed to go maximum? Well, you take 220 divided by your age. So 220 beats per minute minus 44, 220 minus your age. 220 minus 44 years old is 176. And I got up to 175. That's the maximum you're supposed to get up to. Anything above that is dangerous, extremely dangerous. And you would probably say 175 is dangerous just with MSA and neurogenic orthostatic hypotension, and you'd be correct. So the point is that we still have to try to move. 71 degrees was the temperature. It took about an hour to complete. And if you notice down here, my VO2 maximum oxygen was in the fair category. And if you look at my past days, during the day of my oxygen, it's still in the 37, the fair categories. You know, my pulmonologist last week said I'm at 75% of my normal self. So if you take that into consideration, that much oxygen in and out of your body, 37 squared, is how bad my MSA has progressed with my lungs. Am I dying? Is something hurting? No. Is it harder to do things? Absolutely. Am I more inclined to black out and white out or pass out and see stars and whatever, but your face gets tingly? Absolutely. But I'm not dead yet, right? So statistics don't lie here. And if we go over to the chart, I want you to notice that my heart rate kept increasing even though my oxygen was staying the same with my speed. So my oxygen stayed at 37, which is fair. Not good, not excellent, but just fair. And my speed and heart rate were not in sync. I mean, I went faster and faster, but my heart rate decided to go farther and farther the more I did things. So if I were to switch this around, speed and heart rate, there goes my speed in blue. I got used to it. I tried to jog as much as I could when I could on the back stretch or on the front stretch of that track. I tried my best. And you can see from left to right how the heart rate keeps increasing. Why? Because I get half the oxygen I'm supposed to. That's not the technical term, but I'm getting only a fair amount of oxygen as I'm doing anything in life, let alone trying to jog or walk at a 5K for Mission MSA. So was I worried? Did I feel my heart rate going crazy? No. Did I even feel any concern about anything going on while I was walking or running? Not at all. Did my legs hurt? Surprisingly, no. Did I cramp up? No. You know, I woke up and I felt blessed. And I'm not sure if that's God himself blessing me, or my family, myself, my mom, her husband, my cats. I'm not sure. Last night, the night before the 5K, I had a very horrible sleep. It was terrible. It was despicable how bad my sleep was. But I woke up before my alarm clock, which is not normal, which means I'm ready. And all I had on my mind was walk the 5K and try to run if you can. And that's what I did. Not for me, because I know I can do it, but for you, because you don't think you can. And that's selling yourself short. There's one thing to have a disease that takes your mobility away from you, like ALS. You can't control ALS. When it takes your muscles, you have no say in the matter, no matter what you do. You will lose your motor control of your muscles. It's a fact. But with Parkinson's and MSA, we don't necessarily have to. I understand if you are older, 60s and 70s and 80s, and get MSA. I get that. You're older, you don't move as much as you used to, it hits you harder. Absolutely. But there's a lot of us who give in to accepting help when we should not. And that's what Sunday was all about. As my youngest daughter caught up with me with one of the laps, I told her, I said, we're going to run this back stretch. And she said, why? I said, because I did not come here to see what I can do. I know what I can do. It's easy to walk a 5K. But can you do more? I told her that's what Sunday was about. Sunday was about, can I do more? It's easy to take help. It's easy to walk. It's easy to eat. But can you do other things to make your life better? And in hindsight, emotionally better. I felt so good about that day. Not that I was able to walk a 5K, because I knew I could do that, but to be able to jog a good portion of it with no pain. Well, I mean, I had pain in my foot, my lower back, but nothing like MSA. And you do have support. So when I show you things on here, such as videos.
Yeah.
This is after I stopped to get a little drink of water for a second. And then we go back off to jogging, right? Anybody can walk. Some can't. But if you're able to walk, can't you fast walk? And if not fast walk, jog. If not jog, run. I said it many times that the hardest part about MSA and moving your legs is the initiation and the stopping. So I tried my best to be careful when I started to jog and when I started to stop that motion into a walk. That was the hardest thing to control. On top of that, staying into the number one lane, on the inside lane, had a little bit of a slope for water drainage. So once I realized that I was falling left a little bit while I was walking, I got out of that lane and got into the lane number 2, which was a much more even lane. Made it easy. Well, my wife asked me, why aren't you wearing your gym shoes? Purple Nikes. When you're moving your legs and trying to run / walk, the bigger the shoe, the more likely you are to hit your heel and toe and misstep and fall. So I went with my Nike Flyknit shoes. More narrow, so falling left to right might happen more, but I'm not in danger of hitting my toe or my heel as often. And we kept to the we kept to the plan. We kept to the plan. I couldn't run fast, but I got double my walking speed. And I literally was walking like I was stomping on the ground. I was running or jogging like I was stomping on the ground. I could not lift my legs as high as I needed to. The feet weren't going exactly where they're supposed to. So it was pretty hard to keep going with this method, but it didn't fail me, so I persisted. You just have to know when to stop. Take your time. I knew I can jog the front stretch and back stretch. By God, I was going to do it. My brakes were going to be in the curves. And that's what happened. Even my oldest daughter stepped in to run
Was that yours?
the front stretch.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Didn't go far.
Right? Why?
It's really amazing.
Because if I can do it, they can do it. Now, did they have to do it for me? No. They were really there for support, emotionally and physically, in case something did happen. But they were there. And the attitude, somebody was going to say, you have to be different. You can hear my wife here speaking about me right here.
Now he's just showing
Please
off.
don't fall.
I'm recording you from back here.
The message was, please don't fall. Right? True. And he's showing off. No. I'm actually seeing what I can do. I know she doesn't really think that. She's just joking around. But if I can walk backwards and not fall down and pivot around, I'm going to do very good in this event. It's that simple. If I can do X, Y, and Z, I can do A, B, and C. If I can't do Z, then I can't do B. You have to test yourself, and the only way to test yourself is to try. Even when we're going around the corner, family finds a shadow, a little bit of shade.
We found a little shade.
Right?
Feels good.
What's my attitude right here? My attitude was, I'm on lap 10, and what are you, lap 8? Or 7? You don't see me stopping. I'm not mad. I look mad because of my face. My facial masking.
Really?
I'm not
That
mad.
mean?
But they're really asking, like, really? You're on lap 10? Okay, I got 2 more to go. And that's the attitude. I want to be very clear about this last thing I'm going to say. A, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving medical advice. B, stop giving up too soon in your life. It pains me to see people diagnosed with an MSA or anything else, Parkinson's, you name it. And the first thing they do is, I need to protect myself so I don't fall, so I don't hurt myself. With that attitude, you won't go very far with the disease. And I'm just being serious with you, this is real talk. On the other hand, having the attitude of, I understand what I have, I need to test my limits and see where I am, what I can and cannot do, and we'll go from there. That's the attitude. It's not about what you're doing, it's about, can you do a little bit more? And I did. Somebody with MSA for more than 3 years, 3.5, 51-minute 5K is not too bad, walking and jogging. These are things you have to try and do. Is life perfect? No. Are we all created equally? I would hope so. Do we all grow up the same? No. I grew up very athletic. And this generation, like my kids, it's a lot of computers and iPhones. I don't mind it. I do too. Right? I love playing my World of the Tanks game on the computer. And Black Ops. But when it comes down to it, I have the mental attitude to push myself if I have to. I did that to show other people you can still run if you want to. It's easy to do the simple things, but it's very difficult to do things that are expected more of you. You know, did I have left or right movement? Yeah. Did I almost trip a few times? Absolutely, right? I mean, there's so many ifs, what ifs, woulda, coulda, shoulda, said, almost happened, but they did not. I encourage you to stay strong, be MSA strong, be grateful, but keep going. Every neurologist will tell you you have to keep your body in motion. If you keep your body in motion, you will keep that motion usually until you die. MSA or Parkinson's. Parkinson's is not terminal anymore, but the older you get. We've interviewed plenty of people on our podcast, MSA Crusaders, that have kept their physicality completely until the last month or two of their life. After today, I have no doubt I will keep my mobility until my death. Why? Because I'm not afraid to get hurt. I'm not afraid to fall. I'm definitely not afraid to get back up again. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not sad. I know what my priority is. My priority is if I can move, I can still enjoy life. If I can't move, then we open up Pandora's box. Why am I still here on this earth? Why should I still keep living? Right? Why try? You know what's going to happen. You have to do things. You have to make somebody with MSA want to do these things. As I told a very fabulous couple from Europe yesterday, I said, you have to make somebody want to get out of that house with MSA. I said, if you tell me, hey Dave, let's go to the mall, I don't really care about the mall too much. But I told them, if you say, hey Dave, let's go to Best Buy and look at electronics and computer parts, yeah, sign me up, let's go. It's sad. It's depressing having MSA and being somebody who is caretaking somebody with MSA, especially family. What did my daughter see me doing, my oldest see me doing this morning? Mowing the grass the day after the 5K. And I was actually doing much worse mowing the grass than I did running and jogging and walking a 5K. It makes no sense. The body will give you good days and bad days. You have to keep moving. You have to keep trying. Do not rely on anybody or anything except yourself and maybe your faith. Because that day was the best day I've ever had with MSA. Sunday, October 6th, was the best physical and mental day I've ever had with MSA. I was focused on one thing: finishing, doing more than was expected. And it helped that I had a family and volunteers from Mission MSA and strangers I did not know about, that we talked and had fun and chatted about life's difficulties and the good things of life. I feel bad for those who give up very quickly with MSA. We all do not have the same mental aptitude to struggle along and keep going, to try harder when we know we're going to fail. We're not the same in that regard. Am I better than you? No. I just have a voice in the back of my head that says, keep going, try harder. Because I've ignored everything else. It's easy to say, poor me. It's easy to ask for sympathy. It's easy to take a lot of drugs, pills, pharmaceuticals. It's easy to blame not moving on your medication. It's easy to blame you not moving on, not wanting to get hurt. It's easy to blame you not moving because my pulmonologists were trying to force me to a wheelchair last week. And yet here I am, still going, as if I was normal. Why? Because I choose to. And you have the same choice in life. The sooner you give up with MSA, the sooner you get into a wheelchair, and the more you don't get that back. Once you've lost your muscle and control because of inactivity, you can't get it back. But ask anybody and do your research. Those are partners of their MSA. If you keep your body in motion, it will stay in motion. That doesn't mean run every day or every week. Getting up to get your own food or your own cereal versus having your wife and kids give it to you. Getting up to get your own medication instead of having your wife and kids give it to you. Putting your shirt on by yourself instead of letting your wife do it for you. Trying to wash your hair all the time instead of having your wife do it because you just, why not? These are the things you have to keep doing. And if you keep doing them, you will keep your mobility. If you give up too soon, you've lost your fight before it even began. Stay strong, but be MSA stronger than you were before. Be a little stronger tomorrow than you were today. That's all you have to do. It works. I promise. I'm an example. I can show you. I'm not perfect. I can show you. See you later.